What's up, gamers? And you just played with Burnice in the story, or you just pulled Burnice and you want to know the best build for her because she is the anomaly queen, right? This queen of sub DPS for anomaly. So we're going to be talking about the absolute best build for Burnice today, what bra size she is, and how she actually works. Two of those things are actually true. So let's go ahead and hop into the first true thing right now is how does Burnice actually work? A kit breakdown for Burnice, if you will. How to play her, if you will. So let's go ahead and hop into that right now. All right, gamers. So let's quickly go over what her kit looks like here first. If you look in the top left corner, guys, this is what we call her heat meter, right? This is what's basically driving all of your anomaly and stuff like that. Whenever we use the flamethrowers here, hold this down. Oh, look. Oh, we use 30 heat to use that move right there, right? And then if we swap here, if you look at her heat meter while she's off of her own turn, she is still using heat, guys. So this heat is what basically is building the anomaly up, doing the most part of your damage, right? This also means that when she's off turn, she's also able to do this heat damage as well, meaning she can build up anomaly off turn, which makes her really solid for teams like AKA a Jane Doe team. Because if you have Jane Doe on the team, you're basically building up some of this fire anomaly damage, but the main proprietor of the damage is going to be Jane Doe's physical damage, meaning you can get that up faster, meaning you can proc Jane Doe's ability off faster, which basically does a crit hit, right? What is the additional ability? The additional ability scales off if you have another anomaly type character on the team, and or if you have a character that's on the same faction as Burnice as well. And what that's going to be doing is increasing their anomaly buildup by about 65%. And then on top of that, extending the burn effect by an extra 3%. So basically, if your allies proc her burn off, then that's getting extended by an extra 3%. So if you have someone coming to the game, right, like they can reproc a fire anomaly on the character like Anton for shock, that's basically going to be playing a really big role in this team as well, because you can get that fire anomaly off turn and then use that character to reproc it, right? But now that we've expended all of this burn here, guys, how do we get it back? Easy, guys, from the EX special move and the double EX special move, as I call it, right? Which is just going to be doing this right here. As you can see, that meter's coming back up as we're using extra energy, and then we can do it again, right? Okay, now look. Oh yeah, look, now our nitro fuel state's back up, which means every single time an ally attacks now, for the full duration of that bar, the enemies are going to be taking that increased damage from anomaly. It's going to be taking the increased fire damage and just fire damage in general whenever they're being attacked, right? But there's something else that this skill is going to be doing, and that's if we hold down the button and then tap again and hold, right? Then we pull both flamethrowers out. We're using more of our energy, but also building up this gauge so much more faster. And on top of that, guys, it's just doing a lot more damage in general. Like, she does a lot of damage. I'm actually surprised at the amount of damage that she's doing. And then she's also going to be having her ultimate move as well, right? And what this ultimate move is going to be doing, obviously, she has this cute little pose here. Look at that. Cute, so cute. But the big thing is going to be doing here, guys, is basically filling it up to that halfway point so she enters the afterburn site. The only one negative that I can see with her kit is her chain attack actually doesn't fill this bar up at all, so you do have to use the ultimate to get this bar filled up. But the fact that she's able to work so well with every other anomaly character in the game, just because whenever your other anomaly character attack, it's automatic free buildup and damage, so she does a lot of off-field damage, so she doesn't necessarily have to be like a main DPS on the team. This is what a perfect sub DPS would look like, right? She's able to stay off the field and still do damage to the enemy, which is just super nice. But that's really all that I have to say for the kit breakdown of Miss Burnice here. And to quickly go over how I'd upgrade her and everything she's gonna need, guys, I would definitely make sure you're focusing on getting core passive and skill up first. Everything else can really come after that, and that is what these materials you're gonna need for her are gonna reflect. This is mainly just focusing on getting that core passive and skill move leveled up. This is not really much invested into the basic attack. This is not much invested in anything else, and really just maxing out those two things there, like I mentioned before. Now, gamers, let's go ahead and talk about her best in slot W engines now. Obviously, her best in slot is going to be her signature W engine, guys. I don't know if I can throw it up on screen what it does. If I can, then I'll throw it up on screen now, or it might be leaked, so I don't know. Just know that the best in slot W engine is going to be her signature W engine. Next in slot, though, is actually very free to play options. Actually, second and third best are all free to play options. So, second best in slot to me, guys, is going to be Weeping Gemini. Now, Weeping Gemini is going to be giving you an initial attack buff, but the real bread and butter is actually coming from what the ability of this W engine is, right? And you can basically have this passive up whenever you're using an anomaly-based team, because you're getting this buff from whatever other ally you have out on the field. If you have someone like a Jane Doe who is doing your main DPS type things, you're going to be inflicting a lot of attribute anomaly on that character, burn anomaly from her as well, so you're stacking this up really quick. On top of this, guys, it's giving her a huge anomaly proficiency buff until the enemy is stunned. At max, is going to be giving 46 anomaly proficiency. That is 184 free anomaly proficiency just from your main DPS dealing damage, because as long as she's in her afterburn state, you're going to be dealing that anomaly to the enemy, so that means the more damage that she's actually able to get out. Now, like I said, the only downside of this is whenever the enemy is stunned, you lose this, right? Then you have to build it back up again. But the fact that she's able to build this up so fast is actually really, really nice. I guess the other downside here would be that it comes all from a passive, like the anomaly proficiency comes from a passive, versus just getting it outright from like the main stat itself, right? The third best in slot option here, guys, is going to be Rainforest Gourmet. Now, this actually does come with a set in stone 75 anomaly proficiency just to the character already, right? You don't have to work for this at all. This actually gives you an attack buff instead for using energy, but it only lasts for 10 seconds. So this doesn't really help her off-field damage as much. It only lasts for 10 seconds while she's off-field, which is actually low, but this could maybe be a better option for you if you're running her as a main DPS and using your energy a lot. Because she burns through enemies so quick, it's not going to be hard at all to get these 10 stacks up. That's a 40% attack buff at full send, and then on top of that, you're getting a free 75 anomaly proficiency there. And now, since I've been yapping about all of her gameplay and how she works, and then what W engines are running her and what scenario, let's go ahead now and talk about teams before we actually talk about what the build is. So I think her best in slot team right now is going to be a Jane Doe team. So Jane Doe, Burnice, Caesar King. Honestly, in the future, you could maybe swap out Caesar King on this team for Yanagi when she comes to the game, because you already have fire and then you have physical, and if she plays off a disorder, then you can get that disorder buff as well. And then on top of that, maybe she buffs the damage that they both do too, so that could be a really solid team to run. You can honestly probably replace Jane Doe as well for Yanagi, because Caesar's already physical, and then you have her. Disorder there may be more viable to get because you have 3 different type of characters on the team if she plays off of some type of disorder thing, right? Who would know? I wouldn't, surely. But I think that is going to be the best team in the game for her, but that's not the only option of team that you can run. Second team, guys, is going to be the Sons of Caledon team, whatever you want to call it, right? And this is going to be the most free-to-play friendly team for her, which is Burnice, Lucy, and Piper. You already have 2 anomaly characters on the team, that being Piper and then also Burnice as well. One giving you fire, one giving you physical, and then Lucy is there going to be your de facto buffer for that team. This is going to be a very solid team because you also obviously have Piper there helping with anomaly damage. She's helping build up the fire anomaly on the enemy, which then in turn gets Piper's anomaly build up even faster as well, because that fire build up is going to factor into how much of the other build up you're getting with Piper, the physical damage build up. So this is going to be super solid. You get disorder from here as well, which is a pretty big amount of damage you're doing to the enemy, and decent for the stun meter as well, meaning you don't necessarily need a stunner on the team. And then obviously Lucy's there, she does fire damage, but the big thing Lucy's there for is the buff that she is going to be able to give, and then her little minions do attacks in there as well. So this team is also going to be a very solid and a great free-to-play team that you can run with her. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the third best team, which is a mono fire team, which is Soldier, her, and then also Lucy on that team as well, which Lucy is actually completely free right now in the game. You can get her for free just from doing the new cheesecake event, so make sure you're doing that cheese event so you're getting your Lucy for absolutely free. But these are the 3 best teams that I recommend here. Obviously the best in slot being the full anomaly team, but not to say that the Sons of Caledon team is not good as well. I digress. Let's go ahead now and talk about the moment you've been waiting for, the part where I scam you and tell you to subscribe to the channel. Do you like Burnice? Do you like Caesar King? Do you like Zenless Zone Zero? And maybe even Honkai Star Rail as well? Well, if you do, this is the channel for you guys. That's what we post here, ZZZ and Honkai Star Rail content. So guys, go ahead now and hit that subscribe button. We are trying to push 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If we hit that margin, then we'll be doing a special, super special giveaway, right guys? Maybe I'll be giving you E1, S1, or a character in Mindscape, one of a character, or something like that, right? So hit that subscribe button now, and we'll also probably have a little special video planned for that too. But with that being said, and me scamming you out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about her best in slot disk drives and disk drive stats as well. So gamers, the best in slot 4-piece set for her is going to be the new Chaos Jazz set. This is going to be giving you 30 plus anomaly proficiency, and then fire and electric damage will be increased by 15%. And then whenever she's off the field, damage caused by EX special attacks and assist attacks are going to be increased by 20%. This effect will be carried over to her whenever she's get backs on the field. So this is going to be real, like this is made for her, right? Because she is going to be off field most of the time. This is a free 15% damage bonus to your team doing EX special attacks, namely Jane Doe. Jane Doe actually takes a very big use of this because you'll be able to use her EX skill there, and then also the assist attacks with Jane Doe is quite frequent as well. So overall, you're doing a 20% damage increase there, and then when you swap to her to get your pyro back up, basically swap, use it for 5 seconds, and then swap off her again. That's how she should be played. That is the perfect 4-piece set for her. And then for the 2-piece set, what can you run here? Like, what is the best thing that you can run for the 2-piece set? Because she has a lot of options here. You can run a 2-piece Fanged Metal, which gives gives you a fire damage increase. You could run a 2-piece swing jazz, which gives you 20% energy regen. Hell, you could even run a 2-piece freedom blues, which gives you extra anomaly proficiency. Use whichever one you need more of, right? I would run whatever you feel like is better for this character, right? Like if you feel like she's lacking on energy, run the 2-piece jazz set, right? For the extra energy regen. If you feel like her energy regen anomaly proficiency is good, if you have great anomaly proficiency substats and she's stacked on it, you don't need any more, run the Inferno metal set for the increased fire damage. If you feel like she's lacking on anomaly proficiency, run the freedom blue set. Literally, you can cater any of these 2-piece sets to what you need more of, right? If you need more stats, obviously aim for stats. If you don't need more stats, then aim for one of the other two, right? And with that being said, if you don't even want to run a 4-piece chaos jazz and these 2-piece sets, you can run a 2-2-2, right? Because you can run 2-piece freedom blues, 2-piece chaos jazz, and then a 2-piece swing metal, right? This is a perfectly fine set to use as well. You're hitting 60 anomaly proficiency there. You're not getting the big buff from either of the 4 pieces there, but you can run 2-2-2 just to make sure you're getting as much anomaly proficiency as possible, meaning your substats don't have to be as good to run her, but still, this set's giving you enough leeway to not really having to focus as much as rolling those substats, right? So this could also be a fairly decent way to run her too. Now, that's really all I want to mention on the sets, because overall, she doesn't really have that many options unless you run like 2-2-2, which in that case, you can run a lot of different variations there. My favorite 2-2-2 set, probably Chaos Jazz, Freedom Blues, and then Swing Jazz as well to get the extra energy regen and free anomaly proficiency. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what those best main and subsets are, starting off with those main sets first. On the 4-piece, I'm going to be recommending anomaly proficiency, nothing really else you can swap out here. On the 5-piece, it's going to be fire damage or attack percentage or pin ratio. Obviously, fire damage is going to be the best here. On the 6-piece, guys, hands down, 100% get anomaly mastery here. This is what you're going to be wanting to aim here for the main stats. Now, as far as the substats go, realistically, guys, you can aim for anomaly proficiency and attack percentage. Those are the main 2 things you're wanting to aim for there. Everything else can really be what you want. You can either get attack and pin ratio, you can get crit rate, crit damage, whatever one you privy more, but I do recommend mainly focusing on getting anomaly proficiency and attack percentage here. Those are the 2 main focuses you want to be making as far as substats on her kit. The main thing I can really tell you to aim for here, guys, is get at least 300 anomaly proficiency, so she's maxing out her core passive ability for the increased damage here. And then I guess for the attack, I would aim for at least 2300 minimum there, but realistically, you want to be getting that anomaly proficiency to at least 300. That is the bare minimum I would recommend for her. Anyways, gamers, that's going to do it for our little build today on Miss Burnice. If you are planning to pull for Burnice, if you've pulled for Burnice watching this video, or if you're still planning on pulling for Burnice, then subscribe to the channel, because we're going to have a should you pull guide later for those people that are unsure right now. Anyways, guys, are you enjoying Burnice? Do you think Burnice is cool? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Where is she getting on the tier list? How good do you think she's actually going to be? Anyways, gamers, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoy. Subscribe, 10,000 subscriber goal. Please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Anyways, gamers, that's going to do it for today's video. See you later, and bye-bye.